What it do, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about Black Friday. Now, I am filming this Thursday night, so I'm filming this on Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, whether you were spending it with friends, family, yourself, love, it doesn't matter. I hope that you were able to take that moment to breathe and just be thankful to be breathing and thankful for all of the things that you do have in your life, even though I'm sure we all wish that we had X other things to incorporate in our everyday lives. So yeah, that's that. But if you're interested in hearing my opinions about Black Friday brands, I would strongly say check them out. This is only going to be featuring 5 independently owned brands that I want to highlight today. There's so many that I could highlight, so many that I enjoy and I showcase on my channel, and so many that are known throughout the world in the, whatever. But I wanted to really narrow it down, and I'm only going to be talking about 3 items from these 5 brands. So hopefully it's not too long of a video, but in the event that you're interested, just keep watching. So really quickly, I did film this look. This is my 3rd look with the Manika palette from Adept Cosmetics. So hopefully this video will be coming up soon, but life is life, so who knows? And I am working a lot at my retail job this weekend, so I'm going to try my absolute best, but I need to work around that schedule. So please do bear with me on that. But so first I wanted to kind of talk about Black Friday, right? So Black Friday traditionally is supposed to be done on the day after Thanksgiving, on the day after, which is a Friday. And basically, it is a time where brands, distributors drastically bring down the prices or slightly bring down the prices depending on the brand we're talking about. And it's traditionally a time or a day where a lot of people get their Christmas shopping done. Now, I think that is kind of smart. Typically, though, if the things are not super limited edition, you can get all of the items that are going to be on sale during Black Friday for an even better sale after Christmas. But most families, friends, all of that stuff really do celebrate Christmas if they celebrate Christmas on the day. So that's not an opportunity for people to take for them to kind of wait to get an even better deal. But I also want to mention that clearly we've seen Black Friday has started as soon as like early November. And that's crazy. It's really, really crazy. It's super overwhelming. I'm sure you guys are somewhere near me. I have been deleting emails almost every time I open up my phone by the 20. So I'll delete 20 emails at a time because it's just so many emails, so overwhelming. And it's unnecessary. It honestly has me feeling like I don't want to shop because there's so many people vying for my money. It is a lot. I understand why it's happening. These brands, they have to survive. They need to get their customer to purchase from them before they can purchase from their competitor or anybody else, right? So it makes sense why brands in their headspace, in their mindset, their perspective are pushing forward their sales. But it's just super overwhelming for me as a consumer, and I don't particularly enjoy it or appreciate it, if we're being very, very frank. But anyways, I also wanted to point out the fact that because of course COVID, I find that so many other brands are really they're hammering home their sales and their advertisements because they need the money to survive. They do. And so I would caution you as a consumer, a potential shopper, whatever you are, and even as a brand owner, honestly, to take a critical eye on the percentage of sales that you're participating in, and also know just because you're getting a potential sale does not mean you have to buy from it, right? So if you weren't checking for Kohl's, there's no reason for you to go to the Kohl's website just because they are giving you a 30% off. Because at the end of the day, you're spending your money, your hard-earned money, on something that you really didn't need. Now, do we need any of this stuff? No, but I definitely highly recommend you going into today if you're only shopping today, or if you're shopping throughout the rest of the year, or if you've already shopped as I have. Go into it knowing the brands that you truly are checking for and ignoring the other brands, because otherwise you're going to end up spending so much more money than you truly need to, or even bringing in more products to your collection than you care to address, the care to even acknowledge. And I found that in my previous shopping experiences of Black Friday, where I'll buy so much because it's available to me, the opportunity is there. And then when it gets to me, it sits there. It sits there for months and I don't touch it. And so then I give it away, or I do this and I do that. And it's like, you're wasting your money. So I definitely strongly recommend, first thing first, knowing the products, knowing the brands that you are going to wish to support. Now, I have tried, I believe, pretty well to really focus on independently owned brands this Black Friday, and with a majority of my shopping in general, just because this is somebody's livelihood. I'm literally giving this money to an individual who needs it to buy their groceries, to buy their clothes for their spouse, for their partner, for their children. And that just fills me with a warmer satisfaction personally than giving it to this conglomerate, this big organization that, is just churning out products, and it's just, slowly trickling down the money to the pennies to their employees. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't spend any money to big organizations, because that's a lie, right? Everybody gives money to these bigger corporations, these bigger companies. But at the same time, I try to really, if I can, find an alternative, to use that alternative, because then it just, it makes me feel warmer and cozy inside. So, yeah. But the third thing that I would recommend prior to your shopping occurring is setting a limit. What is the percentage that you are going to expect minimum from all of your purchasing? I find that really helps me. For example, if a brand is giving you 10%, should you really be checking for that right now? Or can you get a 10% coupon from, I don't know, any other time period? And especially right now, where a lot of brands are giving a lot of sales, and I find a lot of people want to get a lot of shopping done for themselves, for other people, it's really helpful to set a hard limit on what the percentage you want to even open up a brand's website, to even see if the particular item you're looking for is still in your price range, etc. So those are the three kind of tips that I would give before you even kind of make a gander onto any website, go to any stores. And I hope it's helpful. I find that it has been helpful for me in the past and this year as well. So yeah, there's that. So I have 5 brands that I'm going to be highlighting today, or websites. It's a little bit of a combination, but it's mainly specific brands, and they're all independently owned. I will be showcasing the products that I would recommend. These aren't like a full scope. I've done videos on all of these brands, so I will do my best if I can, if I have the time, because I am filming this really late and I do want to get this up before I go to work tomorrow. So I will try my absolute best to link down below videos, but otherwise just check out the search bar, check out my channel. I have videos on pretty much all of the products that I'm going to be talking about and all of the brands that I'm going to be talking about. So let's get started. First, I am going to be looking over here because I have my computer accessible so I can see the brand's discounts available, because I will be talking about each brand's discounts. So first, let's go ahead and start off with the first tab that I can see, and this is Huda Beauty's website. So on her website, she has kind of 3, I would say, brands accessible. So there's Huda Beauty, there is Kayali, and then there is her skincare brand, which is Wishful, and there might be another one that I just don't know off of the top of my head. Now, I've only tried from 2 of those brands, which is Huda Beauty's brand and Kayali. So those are the 2 brands that I'm going to be highlighting, but if you have recommendations from Wishful, just shout out down below. Now, I would recommend two palettes from Huda Beauty's website, of course. First is my first love, which was the new nude palette. I absolutely loved this palette. I got so much use out of it, and I cannot wait to kind of dive back into her in the future. I have so much time to really play with her, but definitely highly recommend this if you are interested in more nude color schemes. If you're not and you want some color, I would highly recommend the Mercury Retrograde. Now, I picked this up for 50% off on Sephora's website. I paid full price for this. Would do it again. So if you can't at least get it on 50% off from her website, I would say wait. Sephora tends to put this on 50% every so often. I don't know why, but it is a fact. Now on Huda Beauty's website, it is up to 80% off. So not necessarily every product is 80% off, but there are some really good sales, and I highly recommend looking at the original price, looking at the price that it is now, and literally calculating what it is. If that discount is not enough to meet your threshold, then you don't need it right now. That means that you can find that discount. Potentially, most people do like whatever their discount is because they know they can find the discount throughout the rest of the year. So that is how I would do it, and I'm going to leave it at that. And then the one product from the Kayali range that I want to recommend is this baby right here. This is Lovefest Burning Cherry 48. Now, I have already participated in the Huda Beauty Black Friday deal. I just could not wait. I ran through my 10 milliliter size of this, and I really wanted a full size. I told myself that I was going to wait for her Black Friday's deal, and then I was going to pick up a full size. I felt it was warranted to get this at the discount that it was available to me, and I'm very happy to have it. Mainly because this product was just like, I knew I was going to purchase it right now. And so just getting any percentage off, I was happy with. That said, I also did pick up some other things. I haven't tested them out because life, but I am very excited. I did pick up one of her cream blushes, and a pair of lashes, and something else I don't actually remember. I know I got like 2 or 3 free items in my order, which is exciting as well, but definitely highly recommend checking out this brand's website. I know that they really only do a sale once a year, so if this is not the time for you, if you did not plan to navigate to this brand's website this year, push it back. It's okay. I'm sure the products that you're interested in will be available next year during the Black Friday sale because, you know, she does a sale like this every year. This is just the first time that I have actually participated in it. Next, we have Merit, and Merit is doing a really good sale. Their sale is 20% off. Now, I have 3 products that I want to highlight. I also will be doing another video probably soon. I'm just waiting for some things to come my way, and I'm very excited for them. So let's talk about these 3 items. So this one is the Slip, their lip balm in Slip. This is a shade that I really enjoyed, and I highly recommend the formula. I have mentioned before that this is not the most moisturizing formula. I kind of equate it in my head to be more like a lipstick, although it's not overly opaque, but I really do enjoy it. I do recommend it. And overall, the brand's aesthetic is very kind of everyday chic, right? So if you're somebody who you just want one item for each step of your makeup routine, and you don't need it to be like extra va-va-voom or anything, I definitely say that this brand is solid. I do have an affiliated link with this brand, and I have partnered with them in the past for campaigns, and so I do have a relationship with the brand, just so that you know. Really like these, and I picked up the lipstick. These 2 products I did not. These 2 were sent to me. So the next product is actually their stick highlighter. This is in the shade Citrine, and this is a really pretty kind of orangey highlighter. Actually, let me swatch these items so that you guys can see them, because I think that will be really helpful. Like I said, I have done videos on these, and I will do my absolute best to link them down below. So right here is the shade Slip. As you can see, it pretty much blends into my skin tone, which is why I love it. I love those types of products on my lips being emphasized or kind of lined out with a lip liner. So Citrine is a cream highlighter, and this is one of my favorite formulas when it comes to cream highlighter. It may look very daunting, as you can see right there, but I did swipe it very, very, heavy or whatever. Once you blend it into your skin, I prefer using my fingers. You can use a brush or even a sponge. If you don't like using your fingers, I would more so recommend that sponge, because the sponge can just warm it and melt it into your skin. It really gives a nice kind of everyday beautiful effect. And if you apply a powder highlighter on top, it is out of this world. Like I said, this brand really gives you that everyday look. And so that's why a lot of these products really melt into your skin and melt into your foundation as well. The last product I'm actually going to highlight from the brand is their foundation. Once again, this was sent to me as well, and this is in the shade Cacao. This particular shade is too dark for me. I would say this is a really good like summer shade for me, or even just like a cream bronzer shade. I haven't bought the correct size for me, but I actually think I'm going to go ahead and do that in the sale now that I think about it, because they don't do a lot of sales very often on the brand's website. So this is a really pretty formula. It's easily melts into your skin, and it blends in and looks like second skin. You really can't see where your foundation starts and your skin ends with this one. I really like it. I would say this gives off a medium coverage where it's skin like, but it's not, more in the satin range than like a straight up matte. So really nice coverage, nice finish, and that's why I like it, and that's why I'm interested in getting the perfect shade for me. Like I said, this is in Cacao. I don't know what shade I'm gonna pick up. I will put it on the screen for you all. And yeah, if the other products that I have on the way come to me by the time I finish editing and uploading, I will have them coming in now. But very happy with all of the products I picked up from the brand and have been given to me by the brand, but those are the three that I would highly recommend. And if I did not mention before, this brand is doing a 20% off sale right now, and it is available to everybody. They also have a really good lip balm that is actually in my new luxury purse right now. So good things there. I will have the dates and everything down below for you all, and I will also have links. Some of those links may be affiliated. I appreciate if you shop through it. Otherwise, it's no big deal. So yeah, let's move into the next brand. The next brand that I want to highlight is Adept Cosmetics. Now I'm looking on their website and I can't distinctly see if there is any particular deal going on right now. I saw something that says save 15% off for creating your own palette. So, but that seems like something that would be available all year around. Let me see if I can see if they're even doing a sale right now. Okay, so I don't actually know if this brand is doing a sale right now. I know a lot of the bigger influencers that are into indie makeup have done like the guide to. I didn't watch them mainly because I don't have the time, but if somebody else notices that Adept has done a sale, I will do my absolute best to get that information on the screen for you all in editing. But I do still want to highlight 3 different products that I've really enjoyed from the brand. And if I haven't mentioned before, I first tried this brand this year, and I tried them for the first time with the Heather Austin palette. This palette just screamed to me with the matte tones and shades, but also the multi-chromes, the shimmers, all of them. This palette is ridiculously a love. It is a full-on love. I would highly recommend this palette. I've given it away once to one of you all, and I'm so happy that I was able to afford to do that. I hope the person that won the giveaway and won the palette is currently enjoying it. highly recommend this palette. I honestly can't say enough good things about that palette. That is literally why I continue to purchase from the brand, and I continue to purchase from this brand because they have fantastic quality. The next one I really want to highlight is actually their Amunet palette. Now, I know I did a 3 looks on it, and some of the looks in the video I was like, I don't really know, but it is the neutral mattes in this palette that really get me. I love the neutral matte. I also just appreciate that there are so many mattes in this palette. Most of their palettes are predominantly shimmers, and although I understand why, their shimmer formula is just outstanding. To me, I really love mattes. I love building my crease. I love building that dimension, the variety, and so seeing that this palette has so many mattes, I just appreciate it, and I had to recommend it. Then we have the last palette that I'm going to be recommending, and it's actually a face palette from them. So I've just now finished my testing out of it, and I've worn it 3 times, 3 different ways, and this is kind of a little sneak peek to my review on this and the Manika eyeshadow palette. With this highlighter palette, this is specifically the Stella eyeshadow palette. This highlighter works really nicely so far. I've only tried it with a fan brush because my other brushes are currently dirty, but I believe that it really highlights my cheekbone and my nose beautifully, and it really is a nice shade. It's not too deep, but it has enough gold in the tone of light shade that it really kind of melts in with my skin. The 2 blushes are straight up glowy blushes, or they can be highlighters depending on your skin tone. Now for me, I've only tried them as glowy blushes, and I really like them in that manner. I've used them by themselves, I've used them on cream blushes, and I've also used them on powder blushes, and I think that they work beautifully no matter what. Now I have not tried them on a sticky cream blush, so I can't tell you if it works in that manner, but I will be giving you guys updates on all of the products that I haven't given you guys update that I'm featuring, and that's the only product. So there will be an update. I just need more time to test it out. So yeah, like I said, I don't know if this brand is actually doing a Black Friday sale, but I definitely would highly recommend you keeping an eye out on them because their products aren't cheap. Granted, they are definitely warranted, but because they're not cheap, I would definitely recommend getting some form of discount. And even if they're not doing a legit kind of Black Friday deal, just the idea that you can build a palette and get 15% off for that, I think that's still a good deal. Specifically if you're like somebody like me who you like to have a lot of mattes, but you also are very interested in their shimmers, you can build a palette where you get the mattes that you want, but you also get to try their shimmers as well. So definitely recommend just checking out the website in the event that you are interested. And since I don't see a lot of sales happening on that brand's website, I definitely think take a crack at it now. So another brand that I want to highlight is actually Kaladios Cosmetics. Now you guys know I have quite a few things from the brand. I've been supporting this brand for years now. So let me just run through the 3 that I pulled from, and I will kind of explain why I pulled these specific items. So the first eyeshadow palette that I actually pulled is their Futurism 6 Lunar Lavender palette. Now this collection I feel like really solidified my idea that this brand really can bring some good solid formulations. Previously I felt like it was like a teeter-totter kind of situation where sometimes I thought the brand was doing good, sometimes I thought they weren't. I feel like from this point on, they really nailed their formula in both the mattes and the shimmers. I felt like the range was really nice, and I was able to get not only beautiful kind of lavender toned eyeshadow looks, but also really pretty neutral looks. So I'm very happy to have this in my collection. And like I said, that was really the palette that pushed this brand fully on the map for me, and I felt like at this point they really began to be people of color friendly. The next eyeshadow palette that I highlighted is actually one that they released last year. I know a lot of us people of color were fixed to be had because they really didn't show anybody of our complexion in the campaign photos, nor did they really give out any PR to somebody of my complexion or deeper. But I'm so happy that I did end up picking this up this year. And this is the coffee formula. I don't remember the quad. It's the brownie tone quad that came out with the Smoke Show quad. I'm really happy to have this. This is like a perfect everyday eyeshadow quad. These mattes are beautiful on my skin tone. They really blend in, and they also can deepen out as well. So I can get that dimension that I really appreciate. This is quite a shimmery kind of really bam eyeshadow. And so for me, if I'm doing like an everyday like work appropriate look, not that it wouldn't be appropriate to have that shimmer, but I personally wouldn't use that. I would just use all of the mattes to really create dimension and really kind of carve out my eye. But otherwise, definitely highly love this palette, would highly recommend it. And now that I'm thinking about it, I completely forgot about their lip clays. Highly recommend that as well. I really love the formula. They are very comfortable. They dry down, but not like a dry down. There is a little bit of budging to them, but it's beautiful formula, and you can get the the like popsicle lip effect with that. I also have lately been doing that with a full-on normal bullet lipstick. So in the event that you don't want to spend the money on it, or you just don't want another lipstick, that is another technique that you could definitely try. But the last thing that I want to highlight from this particular brand is actually the Kaladios highlighter in Mars Melter. This is one of my favorite highlighters from the brand. It is a red duochrome highlighter, and I find that it is just so pretty. It is right here. It has some purple in it, and like I said, it also has that red. It is like a white kind of color, so it really can melt into your skin, and I'm so happy to have this in my collection. I hope that I found only things that are still available. I tried to really kind of narrow it down in the best way. And this is another brand where I find that they don't do a lot of sales, and 20% is pretty good. And because it's an independently owned brand and it's not available at a distributor, you really got to snatch it up now. Right now, the thing I think that would be perfect to pick up from the brand's website is actually their latest launch, which is their contour palettes, or even just the like under eye powder. I currently am not going to be picking that up just because I don't contour, so I don't think it makes sense for me to pick it up and even test it out, because I'm not a contour girl. So I can't tell you if it's good or not. I mean, I can apply it and say it works, but I can't tell you if it's a good contour shadow or shade, because I just don't do it. I don't contour at all. I've kept the old contour palette and I haven't touched it. So I'm going to leave it at that, but I definitely recommend taking advantage of the 20% off sale, because I really don't see this brand releasing a lot of sales throughout the year, and I think they have some fantastic quality and fantastic products on their website that, like, I would definitely say 20% off would be a good bang for your buck. Now, the last brand that I want to highlight today, I believe, is doing another phenomenal discount. And they have some products available that I didn't mention because I don't know if they're going to be in stock. So just off the bat, I am talking about Odin's Eye. So Odin's Eye is doing 40 to 50% off of their entire website. Now, this sale is not exclusive of the influencer codes that they have available. So I would definitely recommend snatching up an influencer code for all of these products, because typically what these brands do is they mark down the actual item already, and if you get to the coupon section of like your checkout, you can then add the influencer code. So there are plenty of codes I know for both Odin's Eye and for Adept. I don't think Huda Beauty does codes on her website, and I don't believe Kaladios does codes either. But back to Odin's Eye, they are doing 40 to 50% off of their entire website, and I definitely would recommend snatching up the Angelica Nyquist collaboration because it is limited edition. I honestly would recommend limited edition products for any of these brands. that's the perfect time to get them on sale. But the one eyeshadow palette that I have already here that I hope is going to be in stock is the Solman 2. This is a beautiful palette, and if you were not able to get the holiday releases, I think that this will give you a really good matte formula and a decent shimmer formula. It's not as beautiful as the shimmer formula in their holiday, but some of these are really, really good shimmers, specifically Starry Sky. I feel like that's the star shimmer formula here. And somebody did comment mentioning that like some of the mattes aren't as well good as all of them, and that is true, right? So these like more orangey tones I feel like aren't as thick and like opaque on the eye, so you really do kind of have to build them up. But overall I would say this particular palette has their best matte formula that they have released and has a good shimmer formula. Not as good as that holiday though. I really wish that they would re-release that holiday for those that did not pick it up on first launch, because that shimmer formula in that thing is out of this world. Then the other two products that I really want to recommend from Oden's Eye are actually in their cheek range. So first is actually the blush. I have this in the shade Peach Gleam. I did pick up two blushes, and I would just say pick up a blush. I really like this one. This one has a slight sheen, so I feel like on the skin it gives a little bit more life to it than the other blush that I have, although they're both beautiful. You can also use this as kind of like a topper, although I don't think it's sheer enough to really be a topper. The other blush though is darker, so if you're darker than me, this may not reach your skin tone and really like pop out, unlike the other orange tone that is in the matte range. But I definitely would highly recommend you looking into their blush range. I think the packaging alone is worth it. Also just the colors I really, really like. Then as a highlighter, another really unique highlighter that I could not stop myself from picking up is in the shade Warm Sunshine. Now this is another kind of white to color. This one is a white to yellow. I love this. Now, when I say yellow, I don't mean like a, clown yellow. It's more of like a goldish yellow with a reflect to it. I find that it has like a warm tint to it where it can pull like a little bit pinky orangey in there. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful highlighter, and it just really kind of brings something unique to the table. And that is something that, as somebody that has such a big collection as I do, you really need something that is unique to really justify picking it up, no matter how cheap it is and no matter how good the deal is. So overall, these are 5 brands that I would highly recommend. I will hopefully be kind of diving a little bit more into it with some brands, specifically Merit, because I do have some products coming and I do want to showcase them. I will be showcasing the Huda Beauty products that I picked up as well, and everything and anything in between. I would love to hear if there are any products from all of these brands that you would recommend. Shout out down below. Somebody else may be interested in a product that you've tried that I didn't recommend, or even a product that I haven't tried and you recommend. I also would love to hear the brands that you are actually shopping from when it comes to Black Friday. Like I said, personally, I've already started my Black Friday shopping, and if we're being honest, I'm not really checking for any makeup brands. That's just not where my attention is. I did pick up a couple of things from Huda Beauty that were in the makeup realm, but I have been eyeing literally that cream blush for months now, and since it was on sale, I figured why not. Mainly what I'm thinking about picking up that I haven't already picked up are fragrances, of course, and purses. I know. Who am I? Don't know. But between that and clothing, they've really been my mindsets lately. And so I'm just going to keep going with it and see where it leads me. Hopefully not broke. But I hope this video is helpful. I know a couple of people were asking me about specifically the Merit sale, and so I did definitely want to make sure to talk about them. They also are just a really good brand, and all of these other brands that I really, really like. You really get the gambit here where you get kind of a more niche, kind of high end when it comes to Merit. I feel like their aesthetic is just kind of, higher end, and then you get something that's a little bit less higher end, but still equally good quality. Of course, like I said, there are so many other brands that are having great sales right now. Natasha Denona has up to 50% off on her website. I believe Fenty Beauty currently has up to 20%, although they typically kind of teeter-totter between 20 and 30%. So I would definitely hold out for 30% on their website. I believe LYS is somewhere in the 40 to 50% off range, which their brand already is really, really cheap. So that's crazy. And there are so many other brands. You guys have seen them on your feed. You've seen the influencers posting about them on their community posts. And it's just been so much that I haven't done it. For me personally, it's just been overwhelming. Plus, like I said, I'm working as well. But definitely, if you go into any actual brick and mortar store, please be kind to the person that is behind the store, whether they are just a holiday employee or they've been an employee there for 30 years. This is a big season, very, very busy, and sometimes you just catch them on the wrong time and they are tired, so please be kind. Please always say happy holidays, all of that stuff to everybody. I wish you guys the best holiday, the best last couple of days in the year, and I will see you guys in my next video, which hopefully will be sooner rather than later. Bye guys.